week I made a ASMR video with the Battlechest guide for Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. I really hope you liked that video, because today I want to cover the second guide booklet I got for Warcraft 3. And this is Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. Here on the cover we can see Arthas Menethil, the Lich King. I really enjoy going through these booklets because they are so small and cute, but they are still thick. There's a lot of information in these booklets about the game and how to play it. I do think I want to try out these old retro games as a grown-up, since I didn't get to enjoy them as a child. I know that I am not interested in the reforged one they made, was it a couple of years ago now, that didn't get so good ratings. I do hope you will enjoy this video as well. This is something I found really interesting to do, and this is something that I do enjoy, so I hope you can enjoy it together with me today. Thank you for watching. Sit back and relax, and let's get into it. It was very fun making the first Warcraft 3 Battlechest guide, where I read about the Reign of Chaos 1. So we're on to the second, the Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne. Here on the cover is Arthas Menethil. These are so cute and small, these booklets. I really thought they would be bigger. Contents: the Sentinel campaign, Terror of the Tides; Alliance campaign, Curse of the Blood Elves; Scourge campaign, Legacy of the Damned; and bonus campaign, The Founding of Durathar. Sentinel campaign, Terrors of the Tide. Fresh from a victory in the original Warcraft 3 game, you will now be tested with new units, new weapons, and most of all, new enemies. The Naga are a race that the Night Elves will soon learn about. The Naga. Chapter 1, Rise of the Naga. Somewhere along the eastern coast of Ashenvale Forest, the warden Maiev Shadowsong hunts for signs of Illidan's passing. Maiev Shadowsong finds a track that splits up, and she realizes that Illidan must be getting help. The party splits up in a quest to track Illidan down. Chapter 2, The Broken Isles. The next day, on the shores of a mysterious island chain, Maiev and her watchers inspect some ancient, yet strangely familiar ruins. Maiev finds that the ruins are possibly of an ancient city that was sunk beneath the waves. There is speculation that perhaps a magical power raised these ruins, but just what could be powerful enough to do this isn't clear. Chapter 3, The Tomb of Sargeras. Moments later, just inside the entrance of the Shadowed Tomb, Maiev and the Watchers brace themselves for an ambush. Maiev and her troops learn of Gul'dan, the Orc who came before them in search of power of Sargeras. Gul'dan left runes on the walls that tells of his quest and his failures. Chapter 4. Wrath of the Betrayer. Hours later, suffering from grievous wounds and exhaustion, Maeve stumbled back to the relative safety of their base camp. Upon her arrival, she decides that Shandu Stormrage must be informed of the situation, and hopefully he will send reinforcements to help in the fight against Illidan's forces. Chapter 5. Balancing the Scales. Late that evening, in the secluded Moonglade, Malfurion Stormage and Tyrande Whisperwind discuss the aftermath of the Legion's invasion. The next day, off the shores of the Broken Isles, Maeve and her watchers attempt to hold the line against Illidan's final assault. Chapter 6. Shards of the Alliance. 3 days later, on the western coast of Lordaeron, the Night Elves venture cautiously into the shifting shadows of the Silverpine Forest. The Night Elves find themselves in Lordaeron, an area consumed by the undead Scourge, while Malfurion convinces with the forest. Maeve and Tyrande meet with Prince Kel'Thas and agree to help his caravan weave its way through the undead laden countryside in return for help in finding Illidan. Chapter 7. The Ruins of Dalaran. At the moments of Tyranda's success, deep within Silverpine Forest, Malfurion attempts to commune with the spirits of the wild. Later that evening, at the Night Elf's base camp, Malfurion returns to warn Maeve and Tyrande of his brother's dangerous sorcery. It becomes clear that there are 4 Naga summoners around the Eye of Sargeras. You must destroy these summoners in order to save the world. Chapter 8. The Brothers Stormrage. Illidan and Malfurion joins forces with Tyrande. Maeve is bound by Malfurion's entangling roots, and Malfurion and his brother Illidan move forward to fight the undead. Hours later, along the banks of the river Aravas, Malfurion and Illidan work together to pick up Tyranda's trail. Moving quickly through the woods, their skills and sentence start working in union. Will the twin wheels bent on finding their beloved priestess before it's too late? Alliance Campaign. The Curse of the Blood Elves. These aren't just human missions, they also involve the Blood Elves. Although part of the human alliance, there are several unique aspects to this race that are now available to you. Chapter 1. Misconceptions. At Grand Marshal Garthos base camp, near the outskirts of Dalaran, Kel'Thas and his warriors arrive, bearing ill news. Marshal Garthos instructs Kel'Thas to repair the 3 arcane observatories, a task which does not please Kel'Thas. Still, he will follow Garthos' orders to the letter. Chapter 2. A Dark Covenant. The next day, at the Alliance base camp, Prince Kel'Thas and his men ready themselves to move out. The observatories noted a large undead force that Kel'Thas is responsible for taking on. Unfortunately, Garithos has ordered all the foot soldiers and knights out of the area, making Kel'Thas' jobs considerably more difficult. Chapter 3: The Dungeons of Dalaran. 2 days later, within the magically shielded dungeons of Dalaran, Kel'Thas and his blood elves brethren languish in their cells, awaiting their inevitable executions. Secret level, the crossing. Moments later, as the allied blood elf and Naga spill into the back alleys of Dalaran, engineers begin to rebuild Dalaran's defenses while Lady Vesh attempts to open the portal. Chapter 4: The Search for Illidan. After 3 days of fruitless searching, Prince Kel'Thas and Lady Vash realize they are lost in the barren wilderness of the Hellfire Peninsula. Kel'Thas and Bashir finds Illidan locked inside a night elf cage and vow to rescue him at all costs. Chapter 5: The Gates of the Abyss. Hours later, at Illidan's base camp, Prince Kel'Thas finally approaches the former demon hunter and asks for his aid. Then, 2 days later, upon the desolate plains of Outland, Illidan and Prince Kel'Thas prepare to assault Theridon's dimensional gateways. Chapter 6: Lord of Outland. Hours later the same day, at the base of McThurdon's Black Citadel, Illidan marshals his forces for their final strike. Scourge campaign. Legacy of the Damned. Although a bonus campaign featuring the orcs still remains, the undead missions request the final third of the Frozen Throne story. Each challenge is tough, requiring patience, cunning, and a little luck to achieve victory. Expect a lot of fun getting there. Chapter 1: King Arthas. The Alliance is attempting to save themselves and all of humanity by escaping into the mountain canyons where they can hide from the Scourge. Arthas gives the order to have them all slaughtered before they can escape. Chapter 2: The Flight from Lordaeron. The next morning, on the palace grounds, King Arthas and his mayor Dormo Kel'Thuzad discuss the Lich King's dire warnings. Arthas' power is rapidly decreasing, and it's not clear why. Unable to maintain control of his own troops, he is ambushed and must flee his own city. Chapter 3: The Dark Lady. Moments later, in Tirisfal Glades, King Arthas and his banshee escorts stop to regain their strength. Arthas is deceived by Sylvanas, and she attempts to poison him, leaving him paralyzed and in agony. However, Kel'Thuzad comes to his rescue. 2 days later, at her base camp in the newly formed Plaguelands, Sylvanas ponders her newfound freedom in her future as one of the accursed undead. Chapter 4. Return to Northrend. 3 weeks later, King Arthur's dragged fleet drops anchor off the icy southern coast of Northrend. As soon as Arthur lands, the Blood Elves inform him that they intend to recapture the land. Anubarak, a crypt lord, offers his help. Chapter 5. Dreadlord's Fall. At the same moment, back in the Plaguelands, Sylvanas and her loyal minions plan their next surgical strike against the Dreadlord's powers. Varithramas and Sylvanas note that Garithos and his army has been subjugated by Deathrok, and his forces are suspectable to be the Banshee's possession ability. Chapter 6. New power in Lordaeron. The next day, on the outskirts of Lordaeron's capital city, Sylvanas and her alliance prepare to lay siege to Balnazzar's formidable defenses. Chapter 7, Part 1. Into the shadows of the web caverns. At the same moment in Northrend, King Arthas and Anubarak march into the dark, forgotten halls of Ashulnarope. Chapter 7, Part 2. The Forgotten Ones. Moments later, within the Inner Kingdom, Anubarak warns Arthas that whatever scared of the dwarves still lurks down here within the Inner Kingdom. Chapter 7, Part 3. Ascent to the Upper Kingdom. Moments later, at the entrance to the Upper Kingdom, there is a massive quake, and Arthas is separated from the rest of the group. He must find a way out of these passages alone. Chapter 8. A Symphony of Frost and Flame. Moments later, at the Scourge stronghold, King Arthas and Anubarak make their final plans to defend the Lich King's throne chamber. Bonus campaign. The founding of Durotar. This campaign, which reintroduced the orcs to the game, is an exciting departure for the Warcraft series, because it's not a mission-based strategy game. Indeed, it's instead an RPG-style game with one large map, multiple quests and several subsidiary maps that you will access from the main map. In some ways, it's more like Diablo 2 than Warcraft 3. The main map contains some elite items as well as stash, also like Diablo 2, that you can use to store these items as you acquire them. Act 1. To tame a land. In the months following the Battle of Mount Hyjal, Warship Thrall led the Horde back into the central barrens of Kalindon. Freed at last from generations of demonic corruption, the orcs looked forward to building a new homeland for themselves in Kalimdor. They settled in a harsh, rugged land near the Barrens' eastern shore. Thrall named the new nation Durotar, in honor of his heroic father. There were used one act of the bonus campaign, so that was something new for Warcraft. Like they described something more like Diablo 2. I certainly feel now that I'm starting to enjoy making shorter videos like this. Hopefully you are already asleep or feeling rested enough. Thank you so much for watching this video as well. I hope I will see you in